Before we begin, please imagine the bell notification is on and you're subscribed to Huna Stories. We went in for paper towels and coffee. That's what I remember most clearly, how small the list was. Ordinary. Replace what's finished, keep the house running. He was pushing the cart, scrolling through his phone. I was comparing prices like I always do, calculating quietly in my head. We'd been married 11 years. There's a rhythm to that kind of partnership. You stop questioning certain movements. You assume they belong to the choreography of your shared life. As we approached the checkout, his phone rang. He glanced at the screen and said, "I'll take this outside. Be right back." Nothing unusual. He's stepped away before. I nodded, paid, slid the receipt into my wallet. I was lifting the bags into the cart when I heard a voice behind me. "Is that your husband, dear?" The security guard was older, thin, with a posture that suggested decades of standing watch. His tone wasn't accusatory. It wasn't curious either. It was steady. "Yes," I said. He studied my face for half a second, as if measuring whether I could handle something. "Come with me. This is about your husband. You'd better see it for yourself." There's a moment when your body understands before your mind agrees. My stomach tightened, but my thoughts rushed in to protect him. This is about shoplifting, a misunderstanding, someone who looks like him. I followed the guard down a narrow hallway near the customer service desk. The air smelled faintly of disinfectant. My heels sounded too loud against the tile. Inside a small office, 3 monitors glowed. A younger store manager stood beside them, professional and composed. "Ma'am," he said gently, "we've been investigating irregular return transactions over the past few weeks. Your husband appears connected." He tapped the screen. There he was. Not today, but earlier in the week at this same store at a different register, handing cash to a woman I had never seen. Not a cashier, not an employee. They were close, too familiar. She touched his arm. He leaned in. He passed her an envelope. Another clip, different day, she attempted to return high-end electronics, paid in cash, flagged by the system. The timestamps stacked neatly in the corner of the screen. Dates I remembered for other reasons: a late meeting, a canceled dinner, a headache. My first instinct wasn't anger, it was correction. There must be context, a favor, a misunderstanding. The manager spoke again. "We detained the woman outside earlier. She's here today. Your husband stepped out to meet her. We have audio of them discussing splitting returned funds." The word splitting didn't echo. It settled on the live monitor. I watched him standing just beyond the automatic doors. The woman was there, younger, confident. He smiled at her in a way I hadn't seen directed at me in months. Soft, unguarded, conspiratorial. It wasn't just fraud, it was intimacy. The guard shifted his weight beside me but said nothing. There was dignity in his silence. He wasn't enjoying this. He was making sure I knew. The manager turned to me. "Ma'am, some of the purchases were made using a joint debit card. We need to confirm whether you authorized them." There it was, the external line, the place where this left the realm of private suspicion and entered documented fact. I looked at the receipts on the desk. I recognized the account number. "Ours?" "No," I said. My voice didn't shake. "I did not authorize those." The manager nodded once, professional. "Thank you." Through the glass, I saw 2 uniformed officers approach my husband and the woman, not aggressively, procedurally. Calm questions, a request to step aside. He turned, and that's when he saw me standing inside, beside management, watching. His expression shifted in stages. First confusion, then calculation, then something close to fear, not of me, but of consequence. I didn't wave. I didn't confront him. The doors opened automatically as he was escorted inside for questioning. The soft whoosh sounded indecently normal. He started to speak. "It's not—" I held up my hand. "Not dramatic, just enough. This isn't the place," I said quietly. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't protecting him from discomfort. I signed a short statement confirming the unauthorized use of our joint funds. The manager thanked me. The guard gave me a look that felt almost paternal, not pitting, just respectful. When I walked back to the parking lot, the groceries were still in the cart. Paper towels, coffee. I loaded them into the trunk myself. I didn't wait to see how long questioning would take. I didn't rehearse speeches in my head. I didn't call anyone. I sat in the driver's seat for a moment, hands resting on the wheel, and noticed something strange. The panic I'd expected wasn't there. What I felt instead was the absence of distortion, the quiet collapse of excuses I'd built over small inconsistencies, late nights, lock screens, defensiveness I had labeled stress. The humiliation was real, so was the grief, but so was the clarity. I started the engine and drove home alone. For years, I had minimized doubts to preserve stability. Today, stability dissolved under fluorescent lighting and surveillance timestamps. There was no triumph in it, just space, and for the first time in a long while, it felt like mine.